Hey Ron, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, Esteban? How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How about you?
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome. So welcome to today's interview series. It's a pleasure to have you here, and really awesome to have you here, especially since I know you're a guy who has been like everywhere, done every single type of business out there, had every single type of experience basically anyone can possibly imagine. So great having you here, man.
Hey, thank
Welcome.
you, Esteban. It's a pleasure to be here, buddy.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about your story. How did you get started? How did you get into entrepreneurship, into internet marketing, business in general? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, where to start is the question. I mean, I've done a lot of different things. Um, started off young, pursuing the things I love to do, and I think that was embedded in me from the get-go. Started off with BMX, racing bicycles professionally. Got into doing stunt shows, and then got into more of the business side of things, putting on shows and working with different clients. Um, there's a point in life where like extreme sports and everything, it gets to a point where you're hurting yourself too much. I landed myself in the hospital many times, and actually went. I had a really bad accident. I was in and out of the hospital for about 3 years straight. I did a couple month stretches in the hospital, died, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I had to figure out what I was going to do next. And always had a passion with the internet. Learned how to code HTML back in like '98, I think, and got into Flash animation and some other things. But it was like this, just a bunch of building blocks along the way, learning new skills for online, and got into video, went to film school at New York Film Academy, and just I always had this creative side. I had this crazy side, and I had this creative side, and started working with clients and building different web presence, and was trying to figure out my way. It took a long time to figure out what I wanted to do because I loved so many different things. Um, I helped with a business me and my dad did back in the early 2000s. We reopened 1,100 earthquake claims from the Northridge earthquake, and just it was insane amount of money coming in. I was young. We lived a pretty crazy life back then. Just squandered money like it was going out of style, and learned a big lesson back then. You have a couple $100,000 in the bank, and you got nothing to show for it at the end of the day because you party like a rock star. It's just not a good thing. So, if anything, if I can give you any tip, hold on to your money. Use it wisely. Invest property if you can. But just kind of building blocks. Got into SEO. I mean, probably my biggest thing, like I was dumbfounded one day. I was like, how am I going to make money? I was just in and out of the hospital. I had no income coming in. And a couple things. I started searching online, how can I make money, different business opportunities, things like that. And ran into James Schramko. If you don't know him, he's a good guy. Look him up. He had this crazy mind map on how to rank number one on Google. And at the time, if you searched internet marketer, he was number one. Anyway, I'm like, all right, I got to figure out how to do this. So I just followed his mind map and started learning backlinking and some other different things. And not long after, I started ranking number one for like national SEO company in Los Angeles, and just started crushing the SEO scene. It was fun. And started building up clients, and it was cool. I had a nice amount of clients, had a bunch of employees. I was outsourcing overseas. It was pretty cool experience, just being able to crush Google. And that went on for quite a few years, and built some good clientele. And then Google Penguin and Panda just came around and slapped us all upside the head, and realized that I can't rely on organic rankings and kind of cheating the system. Basically, we were spamming the hell out of the internet and just crushing
Yeah.
it. And we got slapped. So I had to reinvent myself again, and I started getting into like Craigslist marketing, and launched a product, and I remember it was a couple days before Christmas, launched the product, and I made $1,200 the first day. I'm like, I was hooked. I'm like, I gotta.
You made $1,200 the first day.
The very first day, I made $1,200
Well,
off $25 sales. I was like, I'm hooked. This is
what were you selling?
How to make money on Craigslist.
Yeah, a business opportunity.
Yeah, just a biz op on Craigslist. We're teaching people how to post ads on Craigslist, and I think it would have kept going. I got a lot of initial sales, but the quality of people that we were picking up in the biz op, I think it's across the board in the industry, but they want everything done for them, and I think that the biggest thing is their mindset. It's like they think, I bought into this. I'm going to make money. I should make money because I bought in. I paid. Why am I not making money?
Yeah.
And they don't realize you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest problem with that was copywriting skills. They wanted to copy and paste, but you can't just copy and paste headlines across Craigslist everywhere. They'll just kill your ads because it's just duplicate content. So, yeah, done a lot of things, man. And now I literally crush Craigslist. I drive leads to clients. I still have some SEO clients, have some web clients, build membership sites. Quite a few different things right now. Trying to narrow it down to just a couple. But the leads I love because I got it automated and it's a good passive income. Local lead generation is amazing. So
yeah, whoa, man, those are
kind of my story in a nutshell, man.
yeah. Obviously, there are a lot more stories, a lot more details, but great experiences like building different businesses, having a lot of money in the bank, then parting out the money. Huge lesson learned. And so tell us a little bit about what you are doing right now. What's your main focus right now? What's your main business about?
You know what? Finding my purpose. That's what my main focus is right now. Trying to figure out I do a lot of different things. I get income coming in, but it gets to a point where it's like you want more. You want something more in life. You want to feel like you're giving back. You want to have some sort of purpose. And I think that's been my biggest focus over the last year. Finding that path and really putting it towards something good. And the main thing that I have been doing is local lead gen, and that's been doing great. I started doing a couple other projects with my brother. It's called BMX Ministry. It's an online ministry that my brother, he's the main guy on it. He ministers to people all over the world. He's building his following, and it's been doing well. We're looking into doing different shows and stuff. All kinds of different things going on. I just built a website for a kid named Dylan. He's got cancer, and we built a donation site for him. So I've been trying to figure out ways to give back in some way, and it's been really rewarding. I mean, not financial-wise, but morally, it's been great because I feel like I'm actually doing something that's doing good, and other than figuring out how to take as much money out of this person's pocket and put it into mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's awesome. And you also had a company that you sold containers, right?
I did that too. I ventured off for like 4 years. Sold a ton of containers. I mean, tons and tons of metal. And that was probably the biggest pain in the butt I've ever done in my life. I was seeing dollar signs because, I mean, these big shipping containers are sold all over the world. And we did really well. Sold millions of dollars in containers and just crushed it. But at the end of the day, I was competing against these multi-billion-dollar holding companies, and marketing-wise, yeah, we crushed them, but they really controlled the industry and the quality of product that we were able to sell at the end of the day. And they keep all the good stuff for themselves, and they pawn off all the rusty junk containers to all the guys doing the marketing and selling these things private party. So it's a rough business. That's a really tough one. And I ended up getting away from it. and going back to trying to figure out what I love to do. And I always love marketing, and it's right now it's finding a product that I really want to market.
Yeah. Awesome. It's kind of funny because I remember when I was, I don't remember, maybe it was more than a year ago, maybe not, but when I was selling web hosting online on Facebook, and I was connecting with people in groups, so I connected with you, and like the same engagement I gave with everybody. Like, hey, what's up, blah, 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 what do you do? And you were like, hey, I have these 3 websites. You're like really humble, and I thought like, yeah, this guy's like just starting as everyone else. So then I was like, cool, let me check them out. And then I started checking them out, and they were like really professional, and I was like, cool, man, how much are you making any money from them? I had just made like my first maybe $300 online, maybe, or $100. And he was like, yeah, I made like more than I don't know how many millions. And I was like, holy shit, man. Because I was like, I'm trying to sell. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Here's the thing. I didn't make millions of dollars off of it.
Yeah, but you sold millions.
So, yeah, gross wise, we sold a lot of containers. And that's another thing at the end of the day is you can sell, $1 million worth of product, but what's your take home? What's your profit margin look like?
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of it, for sure.
Yeah, but still it takes, I mean, it's not everybody that sells millions. So I was like really impressed, and I was like, I was treating this guy like I'm chatting just to sell the hosting for $120, and then he tells me he makes millions. And it was kind of funny because I think since we started there, we we became friends, and then we just mastermind for I don't know a lot of time since we met, and I think it's a really cool relationship we've developed since, like masterminding ideas. Even though it's not the same thing we do, at the end of the day, it's like the basic business principles you learn from other entrepreneurs. So I just wanted to like share the story with the people who are gonna watch this, because I think it's interesting how you can meet so many people online that are actually gonna make an impact in your life instead of just seeing them as a number. I mean, most people are not gonna make an impact in your life, but then, for example, you meet someone like just because I was connecting with people, and then who knows, maybe one day we're gonna make a huge business together or whatever, and we haven't even met in person, and I feel like we've known each other like for years, so it's crazy, the internet. Don't you agree about this?
I do, man. I mean, probably some of the coolest people I've ever met in my life I've met online. I think that goes along with, you could live in this small little town somewhere, anywhere in the world, and you can do some pretty big things. And it's opened the doors quite a bit, especially to different cultures and different countries, and getting to know different people across the world. It's a pretty amazing thing, and the evolution of it's been pretty crazy. I think, especially when Skype came out, that was a huge jump, especially in outsourcing. And you can do anything online, anything you could possibly imagine. You can have it done, get it done, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And meeting people like you, and a lot of other connections I've made. Some great people that are hustlers and grinders, and they get shit done.
Yeah, exactly. I think most of the people and mindset I've developed is because people I've met online, and it's people I maybe haven't even met in person, but like I've met people that I met like for the first time at an event I went in Miami in November, and it's crazy. It feels like you're already friends with them because you've chatted with them, you see their status updates, their videos, so you feel like you know them for a lot of time, and it's really crazy because I think at the end of the day, these are the people who end up being like really close to you, because it's hard to find people that have the same mindset, that have the same goals and the same vision as you, like at least in your country. I mean, not in your country, but with normal people you hang out with.
Right. So
and also because of the internet, we connected with some people who live here as well, here in Costa Rica, who are doing internet marketing as well. So it's cool because we are now developing like a group to mastermind every week, and just I think connecting with like-minded people and people who are doing the same. It doesn't even have to be people who are more successful than you, because at the end of the day, if you have the same vision, you are just like working towards it, then it's gonna, it's just like makes your mind like keep pushing and keep working towards those goals. So it's like really crazy, but yeah, awesome. What would you consider the biggest three mistakes you've made, like in your career regarding entrepreneurship in general?
Ooh, there's been a lot, man.
I think I know. I think we know. We already know one.
Yeah, well, not investing your money wisely. When things are going good, you feel like it's never going to end, right? So, I think disciplining yourself to really, when things are good, push harder. I think that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned. When things are good, don't get lax. Just keep grind harder, start delegating, start leveraging. And if you can use your money to start leveraging, whether it's traffic, employees, leverage, that's probably the biggest thing, and not squander your money when you have it. It's a hard discipline to learn, especially when you're young. And now, I mean, it's easier for me now. I'm 34, but at 24, a little different story.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned. Another one is really picking a direction, because I think people really shine when they're not only picking something profitable. I mean, it has to be profitable, but something that they really enjoy doing, because it's going to give you that edge over your competition, because it comes out in your work and you love what you do and you're good at it. And the direction is really huge. I mean, you can go out and make $1 million, but at the end of the day, 3 years down the road, you're going to be burnt out. And you're just going to be like, what am I doing? Right?
Yeah.
So I really think that's probably I've always lived my life that way, but I think the biggest mistake was starting that container business. I mean, I learned a lot, especially about like a normal business, but at the end of the day, I didn't love doing it. I hated it, and got away from it as fast as possible. And third mistake. Shiny objects, man.
That was exactly what I was thinking, man.
Shiny object, bro. It happens to the best of you. You get excited. You want to feel that feeling of something new, something fun, and you grind it out for a couple of days, and switching what you're gonna do. It's not good. So I think it all kind of ties in with each other. Find out what you're really passionate about. Find that niche that you really want to do. Make sure it's profitable. Yeah. You're going to be spinning your wheels, and invest your money wisely, especially when things are going good. And don't jump all over the place. Nobody's going to make you successful but you. There's no system, no push button thing, nothing. And you got to just got to grind it out. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk, perfect example of that. He grinded for years. Nobody even watched his videos at first. He just kept doing it because he loved doing it. I got it now. So.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Great advice. And I think the shiny object syndrome, like the lack of focus, is what doesn't allow people to get huge results, because there are so many ways, like especially online, you see so many people making money with every single type of business. Right. eBay, Amazon, CPA, e-commerce, email marketing, and then you see the other guy crushing Amazon, so you think, okay, I think Amazon is the best way, so you try Amazon, but you don't master it, and then you see the other guy making millions with CPA, and they say, no, it's CPA is better, and then you end up not doing anything because you didn't master any of them.
Right.
Obviously, there are models that are better than others, but at the end of the day, if you master one, you can make a lot of money.
Right.
So staying focused, I think it's a great tip. And what do you think are your most important accomplishments? Maybe not only, in business can be, but also like in life, that business has allowed you to achieve?
Accomplishments. I've accomplished a lot of things too. I mean, from when I was a kid. I mean, I think my biggest accomplishment is grinding till it's done and finished, and just I've always been good at that. I've always been good at just getting things done. I mean, I jump all over the place too. I kind of leave like 10% of my time to do just like shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
I love learning, and I love tinkering, and I love doing different things. But on whatever the task at hand, I get it done, and I think it's because I enjoy it. But you got to make money at the end of the day. Just got to get it done.
Yeah, I can witness that because, like a week ago, you are like, I haven't slept in 36 hours, man. I'm burned out, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Go to sleep, and you're like you're telling me like I can't go to sleep if I haven't finished the stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's insane, but it's true. I mean, you don't stop doing it until it's done, and I think that's the way it should be because most of the times the most important tasks are the ones we are more lazy to do. I'm reading a book called like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think it's called that way in English, and I don't really remember the quadrants, but there are like 4 quadrants, and it's like quadrant number 1 says like priorities, like the phone rings, so you have to go pick it up fast because it's gonna call, but or someone knocks on your door, you have to open. You gotta do it fast, but those aren't really important activities. You gotta focus. They're not gonna produce you results. Right. It says like quadrant number 2, you gotta. Those are the activities that are like the most important, but they aren't urgent. Like calling clients, going to meetings to close sales, etc. Like you can postpone them, but they are actually the most important ones. So you should like make it a priority. And it says number 3, I think it was like hanging around, answering emails, scrolling on Facebook, doing stupid stuff. And number 4 was like, I don't remember number 4 to be honest, but it says most people hang out in number 1 and number 3 that it's like doing stupid stuff, being productive by watching Facebook, reading emails, answering calls, but those aren't really money making activities. So it really makes you focus on the activities that are not urgent, but are the ones that actually are urgent on the other side, because those are the ones that are gonna make you money. And I think that's, I don't know, really important thing I learned from that book that applies to what you were saying, because if you're busy all day just grinding but aren't doing really the right activities, doesn't matter, right?
No, they got to be money making activities for sure. I think I learned that from Rich Sheffrin. I don't know if you ever heard of Rich, but yeah, he kind of went through the same thing, where he went from his offline business to his online business. In this world of online business, it's like there's so much going on, and there's social media and everything else, and you find yourself doing all these crazy things and that are just not producing results. And it's different because it's not tangible. You're not touching it. You're not receiving money for this phone and handing it off to a client. There's a lot of prerequisites, and there's a lot of, it's crazy. You can't feel it. You can't touch it.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah,
it's a weird thing. So yeah, I definitely agree with that 100%. And I find myself deleting all my apps on my phone quite a bit.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll get rid of Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be, and just walk away from it for 30 days or whatever. Just kind of get back in a habit that I'm not using it, and then I'll put it back on and kind of communicate a little bit. But yeah, it's a bad trap for sure.
Yeah, and what are other 2 things, to big accomplishments you would say you've made with business?
Business-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? Running a sales team, I had a lot of fun doing that. Biggest accomplishments have probably been, I've won some awards and stuff for SEO. Um, accomplishment wise, I'm trying to think what would be my biggest thing. I'm still in the learning process, but I think we all just continue learning. And
Yeah.
accomplishments. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of ranking #1 for national SEO and SEO company and Los Angeles SEO company. I think crushing the big guys was a lot of fun and it felt good. That was a big accomplishment. Um, biggest accomplishment. I think getting to work with some really awesome people in the industry. I think that has served me better than anything. And it's been an accomplishment that I've been able to get along with these people and just move forward. I don't know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just the person and learn how to grind. I mean,
Yeah, just I think becoming a better person and improving every single day is the biggest accomplishment at the end of the day.
right. Yeah, I mean, I think the transition from being money hungry and just money into figuring out how to give back, right? And having more of a purpose. I think that's the biggest accomplishment I have so far. And it's just the mindset of it, the feeling of it, instead of, like I said earlier, how do I get as much money as possible out of this person's pocket and put it in mine? And I think you get to, when in your early 20s to just about 30, it's like you're trying to do that, and it's a good transition to get away from that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what feels good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. What do you think about mindset? Like everyone talks about mindset. It's so important, but nobody really gives the steps on how to make money. What do you think about this? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's necessary? What do you think?
Depends on the person, right? I mean, there's people that, you know, I think staying focused, right, on something that you love to do, that you're good at. And I think those are two big key ingredients. But mindset is huge. I mean, you have to constantly discipline yourself, constantly, and stay focused. And you got to believe in yourself. You got to be confident. You got to know you can do it. 'Cause anything can be done. I mean, you look at people around the world and some of the accomplishments that they've made. I mean, look at Elon Musk putting people in space or whatever. You know? I mean, you can do anything. Put your mind to it. And it's a big part of it. You gotta truly believe that it's gonna happen. You're gonna make it happen. And but that's just half of it. Now you got to get to the grind and do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I think it's about half. Yeah, it's 50% of it. I think. You know,
Yeah.
Besides believing, you got to actually get off your ass and do it.
Yeah, you can just stop. You can just try to attract it by having the best mindset and not doing anything, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you don't have the right mindset, you can take action and you won't keep doing it until you see the result because you're gonna think you already lost. So I think it's I don't know what percentage of each, but definitely necessary. So to wrap it up, what are 3 tips you would give basically anyone, people starting out in internet marketing, people who are intermediate experts, that they can start implementing right away to get better results and to improve their business, their life, etc.
Right. You know what? I think the biggest thing is whatever you're doing. If you're marketing offline clients or online clients or trying to sell biz ops or whatever the case may be,
Or become a BMX expert.
Or whatever. I mean, well, it's a little different. That's just
yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Years of killing yourself. But I think mastering traffic and conversions. I mean, really understanding a medium and not jumping all over the place. I think the biggest thing is figuring out a niche, figure out the traffic source, and really just focus on traffic and conversions. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing. I mean, you can't have a good product yourself. If you don't have a good product, it's not going to work anyway. At the end of the day, because you want to have repeat customers. You want to retain those customers. So it's kind of like the biz op niche. People jump from one biz op to the next biz op.
Yeah.
Because they don't, they produce well for, launch in a few years maybe. But, yeah, I think that, the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Learn a traffic source, man, for sure.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, the interview has been great, man. I really appreciate you taking the time of your busy day to help a lot of people who are gonna actually see this. I know that if the people who watch this actually implement the tips and obviously take massive action, are gonna see amazing results. So thank you, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it, dude. I really do.
Thanks, man. So I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, Esteban.
Bye. See you.